This video is about self-love reprogramming and why it is difficult for those of you that are interested in transcending fear. Hi, I'm Nikki from HereToWakeUp.com, and I help people stay accountable and connected to Divine Spirit on their awakening journey. I've been spiritually awakened for 15 years now, self-realized for 10, and I am here to help and to be of service to kind-hearted souls that are ready to progress. So if that's you, welcome to my channel, The Healthy Wealthy Recluse. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Make yourself at home. And I also want to say thank you so much to my subscribers. I really appreciate you. On this channel, I make videos about spiritual wealth, healing, and relationships. So if you find that you like it here, let me know in the comments and consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Even dislikes help the channel. So thank you so much for watching all of this video. So to me, what makes self-love reprogramming difficult on the human level is the deep-rooted social conditioning and the fear of going against that. It's the fear of the consequences of stepping outside the status quo. On an even deeper level is the fear of stepping outside the human construct, the identity of being a human, into our true identity as pure, eternal spirit. So there's a fear of transcending this false programming that says you're just a lowly human and that's it, nothing more. And of course, to transcend this is absolutely terrifying to the mind at a deep level, because the mind is devoted to its conditioning. It's devoted to its thought system, of which there are really only two: the ego thought system and the Holy Spirit thought system. And if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, you can look into A Course in Miracles, or you can contact me and we can talk about it, or you can just leave a comment or a question down below. So I'm going to list 3 different fears that might make self-love reprogramming difficult, and then I'm going to talk about how the Matrix Resurrections movie comes into this. So the first fear would be fear of being perceived in a negative light. You know, some of our societal conditioning tells us that self-love is quote unquote bad or wrong. That if you love yourself, you're being selfish, or you're being arrogant, or you're being conceited. And a lot of people just don't want to be perceived in that light. Another fear is the fear of damaging certain relationships that are important to you. And this ties in with the first fear of being perceived in a certain light, because self-love leads to self-care, which usually involves a lot of time alone, in solitude, in prayer. And if others, don't really understand what you're doing, if they don't really understand what's going on, they may feel ignored, they may feel betrayed, they may feel abandoned, when that's really not the case at all. And the third fear is fear of guilt. No one wants to feel guilty for taking time out for themselves as an act of self-love. Whether you're meditating, doing breathing exercises, going for walks on the beach, or going out into nature, no one wants to feel guilty for taking time out for themselves. And even though this is something that I feel can affect anyone, I feel like it may even affect women and mothers even more, because there tends to be a programming there that says we have to take care of, everyone else before we take care of ourselves. So just to reiterate, I feel that it's the false conditioning and the fear of consequences of going against that false conditioning that makes self-love reprogramming difficult. And also the insidious nature of the false programming, the fact that it's so deeply ingrained and implanted in the mind. That's another reason why self-love reprogramming is difficult. And that's where the Matrix Resurrections movie comes in. But first, I want to reference the first Matrix, where the Morpheus character is talking to Neo in his room after bringing him onto his ship. And I don't remember exactly what he says, but he basically, is apologizing to Neo for waking him up at such a late stage in his life in the Matrix. Because the older the mind is, the more dangerous it is to try to wake it up because of the deep rooted nature of the conditioning. Just wanted to mention that. But going back to the Matrix Resurrections, there's a scene where Morpheus tells Neo, your brain is hooked on the stuff the Matrix has been force feeding you for years. Hooked bad. So, the deep rooted nature of the conditioning is being addressed with that line. And there's another movie that uses the comparison of addiction, and that is The Nines, starring Ryan Reynolds. In another scene in The Matrix Resurrections where Morpheus is fighting Neo, he says, they made you believe their world, the false world, the fake world, was all you deserved. And that ties into self-worth as well as self-love. And so I'll just reiterate one more time that it's the undoing of this deeply entrenched and implanted false conditioning that makes self-love reprogramming difficult. But when we remove the false programming, we uncover and we reveal the truth of who we really are, which is an unconditionally loving, eternal self that expresses the deepest self-love possible. And then that further expresses into our human experience as well, if we stay aware and alert and if we do the work. So if you'd like some help with doing the work and unlearning and undoing, I'd be happy to assist you. Please remember to love yourself because that is the real wealth. And I hope you enjoyed this video and that you received some value from it. Thank you so much to my subscribers. I really, really sincerely appreciate you very much. Thank you also to everyone else watching and listening as well. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing if you enjoyed the video. And stay tuned for the next one. Take care.